Soundstripe.
Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to My Spouse is My Best Friend. I'm your co-host, Nicole.
I'm Dr. Jason Green.
And today we want to talk about navigating life with adult children. And so I remember a long time ago, I saw a commercial that said, when your kids were small, didn't you want to just eat them up? But then now, as adults, don't you wish you had? I know I feel that way sometimes with our many adult children that we have.
So y'all know we have we have four adult children and one little one running around here. But yeah, it's when you have kids, you have a long investment. You know, we always say when you're 18, you're grown, you get out. It doesn't work that way. So make sure before you have kids, 18 is not the age.
No, it is not. And so you have problems with adult children. That's not necessarily the same problems that you experienced when they were under 18, because now they know it all. You know, as teens, they thought they knew it all. And as adults now, they know it all. And sometimes you just kind of have to step back and watch and see what's going to happen. And so first thing we want to talk about is, first of all, don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. Got to put that out there. But regarding your adult children, first things first. So how do you let go of that connections without overstepping in some areas? And so knowing the difference between that fine line of controlling and supporting your kids, as well as making sure that you set and create healthy boundaries for both of you. You both need healthy boundaries, especially as adults. And then how to offer advice without overstepping, right? And so we know as parents, we want to see our kids thrive at any and every age. And so sometimes you do have to take that step back to see what's going to happen. If they ask for advice, offer that advice, but don't monitor it all the way through. And so I think at times when I'm offering advice to my kids, it's through experiences. And so it's like, this is not what you need to do. It's, well, when I had that situation, this is what I've done to go through that situation.
Yeah, when they were younger, after they go off to college or come into the house, or even when they don't go to college, they think they know everything, that they have all the wisdom in the world. When they're younger, you can beat them, right? Tell them what to do. When they start becoming adults, they start thinking. They start thinking like adults, right? Well, some of them do, but but you really have to let go, pop your booby out their mouth, and let them enjoy life and let them learn things. Let them
Bump their
heads.
Mm-hmm.
But you share through a lot of experiences, and you've been through the certain things that they've been through, and then they look at us like we're old and we have. Oh, you haven't been through what we went through. Yes, we have. It's the same thing, different year. And so you just share your wisdom and let them decide on what they want to take from that. If they bump their head, so be it. Now you don't want them to. You want them to take your advice and your opinion seriously, but sometimes it's just not going to happen that way. So again, just pop the booby at mouth, let them experience life, let them bump their heads, give them the wisdom and your opinions and whatnot. Don't force your opinions or tell them what to do, because they're going to back off. They're going to say, well, I'm going to do my own thing. But really share your experiences throughout life. If they're going through something mentally or going through something physically or whatever it may be, share your experience with them, what you've been through, and let them know, hey, I've been through the same situation, or this happened to me and this is how I handle it. And let them take it from what it is. Like I said, you can always lead a horse to water, but it's for them to drink.
Yeah. And so when they struggle, it's okay to help them without enabling them, right? And so a lot of times during my conversations with the adult children, I'm just showing empathy, right? That I'm listening to them. I understand. They know that I'm an ear, a resource that they could utilize. And so, and when they struggle, I listen to, if it's a breakup, if it's something that's going on in the job, I listen with empathy. But I let them kind of coach them through what needs to happen. I don't tell them what they should do or what. Again, life experiences, showing empathy and showing that I hear them. Now, again, when they go through the situation, I let them go through the situation. And when they come back and say, I what you said helped, then I'm cheering inside. And if they don't take if they don't take it, if they don't listen,
they come back with bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I don't say I told you so, but I just say, that's interesting, And so I keep it at that because I don't want them to think that, at the end of the day that I'm against them. No, I give them what I have, and either they take it or they don't.
Yeah, I mean they're grown, right?
Yep.
I mean when they get that age, they are adults.
Yeah.
So you have to treat them like adults because they're going to think like adults, and that's what their perception is. Some of them not adults mentally, but they think they are, and so you have to garner that perception and really just let them find their own way and have an empathetic ear.
Yep, except when they come back. We know a lot about that.
Coming back
to the house.
Oh, the boomerang kids.
Yes, the boomerang kids.
They never leave. They just kind of come back. You send them off to college. You think you have an empty house. It's just you and your wife swinging from the chandeliers, walking around butt naked, and then here they come.
Yeah.
So.
And so again, there's times where the kids have to come back. And so just to get through that, you just have to be clear about what's expected in your household, right? Sometimes I treat our house when they come back like like a Hilton, right? Except sometimes it backfires because they're looking for their breakfast buffet. But it's like, this is not your house. This is our house, and you are just a guest. And so they like to roam around. They're in, we have a lot of girls, so they're in my bathroom, in my closet. They're in things that they used to be in when they were in high school. It's like, no, you can't do that. You go buy your own shoes. You go buy your own stuff. So just setting clear expectations and rules, because a lot of times they like to bring their adult rules back to our house, and that's where that's where you have to set that clear guidelines of what's expected and what's not. So, like with our girls, when they came back, we really didn't have a curfew for them.
No,
because they were used to coming and going in college, and so we just wanted to know if they're not going to be here for the night, so we could lock up and things like that. But some parents do require kids to have a curfew, even as an adult. And so, again, for adults and the parents, you should set that clear expectations of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, so you can know ahead of time. So then you're not yelling at your kid at 4 a.m. when they're stumbling in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I agree with the setting expectations. I mean, when they first move in, we make sure that, hey, this is what we're accepting, what we're not accepting. One thing, with all my kids, I would say, hey, you got 2 years. 2 years. That gives them plenty of time to save their money or whatnot. And then, with a couple of them, the first year, like you said, they're roaming around like they still live here, and they're not contributing, or we see packages of clothes just pile up because they're buying stuff from Amazon, and they're forgetting why they're here. Did you say she?
I did.
Or wigs.
Wigs.
But they forget, that you're here, so I'm giving you an opportunity to save your money and get you set and straight to get out my house. So, we had to have those conversations too, and remind them, hey, you got 2 years. So we give them that chance, set expectations. I know with my girls, I even set them down and said, hey, listen, this is what I did. I was at my when I got out of college, I lived with my mom for like 6 months. During those 6 months, I grinded. I saved my money. Back then, we had layaway and stuff like that. So, I said, I'm moving out this time. I went and found my bed, bought my dishes, bought my towels. And by the time I said I was moving out, I already had everything. And once I got in my apartment, I had everything delivered, and I had all my accessories and toiletries and ready to go. And I tell my kids the same thing. Hey, you need to use the opportunity what we're giving you to get those things and buy your dishes, buy your toiletries and everything that you're going to need, because you're going to get out in 2 years.
Yeah. And a few have kind of stretched that a little bit. But we again, as adults, we want to teach them about independence, right? And how to save money when it comes to finances. And so, again, like you said, that first year, it's rough because they're working and they have a little money in their pockets,
Mhm.
and they're eating out our refrigerator. One thing that we did agree upon and that we did with all of our kids that came back is they had to pay a bill. So
Oh, yeah.
no one lives here for free. So even if you're paying the water bill, the internet bill, some type of bill, and just helping out with the youngest one, babysitting for free. I remember one time we asked one of them to babysit, and she was trying to charge us. Chick, you live in my house, and you asking to babysit for a fee? I don't think so.
Mm-mm. Or you ask them, hey, can you pick up some toilet paper? Huh? Chick, you live in my house. You better contribute.
Yeah, exactly. And so again, living together, boomerang kids, set expectations early, talk about it early before the 2 years or whatever the time frame is, so everybody will know what the expectations are moving forward.
Yeah. And make sure, you just really teach them, financially, because a lot of them, with our kids, they didn't understand, what life is, living life, bills, car note, cell phone bills, because all that was paid for, right? What it's going to take to get your apartment, security deposits, now, you know, we have some looking for apartments and they didn't even know they had to pay first month, last month rent. They didn't know, like how paying taxes work and all that kind of stuff. So this is the time to really try to help them navigate financially, right, on the things that they didn't think about when they were living under your roof. And so we really showed them, what we have to pay, what we're going through, the things that we pay on each month, and we prepare them for their move.
Yeah, right. And we also provided resources for them to help them, how to maintain your checking account, your savings account, maintaining your money. And I think the biggest thing, which I want to pat us on the back, is teaching our kids about tithing, right?
Oh yeah,
And so,
absolutely.
we see and hear a lot of parents teaching their children about financial literacy, but they don't talk to them about tithing. And that's the number one rule of the financial literacy is tithing.
It's tithing.
And so our kids understand that. So when they have that increase, now that they have jobs, they're tithing and they're seeing that tithing works. And they understand the principle that you cannot afford to tithe.
Exactly. So, that's a great thing. I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, we forget about that. We forget to tell our kids, but our kids know. I mean, they've seen us tithe. They know we tithe. We tell them what we tithe. They know that that's the first thing out this house, and they see how we're financially blessed. So we're living by the example. So we're not just telling them. Some of them, took a little longer, but we have some kids that tithe more than the others, and they're also sometimes blessed more than the others because they are tithing regularly. So they see that. So there's examples. I'm glad you brought that up because it's very important that you instill that. Whether they do it or not, like I said, you can lead a horse to water, but it's for them to drink.
Right. And so, last but not least, the last phase is we are trying to be empty nesters. And so, we are starting to adventure into a space that's unknown to both of us. And so, that's exciting for us. So, we don't have time to get all in their business and control their lives. And so, that's why I believe, are more supportive versus controlling. Because we are entering into a new era of our lives. And so, I don't want to get burnt out because I'm chasing behind our kids. Because again, we said we have 5 kids. So chasing 5 kids under 18 was exhausting. So trying to chase 5 adults don't even make sense to me.
Not at all. They're their own people at this point. So remember your identity. Remember your role is shift. I mean, parenting when they were not adults and parenting now, two different things. And sometimes it's not even parenting. I think it's more of guiding and sharing your wisdom, like we said, and letting them know that you're there for them. Yeah, you're the parent, but I'm not going to parent you.
Right.
You're going to make your own decisions. You're going to make your own mistakes, but I'm here for you, and I'll always be here for you. So just remember that the roles are going to be shifted. You can't treat them like you did when they're in your house, when they were in your house brother. Before they went off or whatever, or before they became adults. It's not the same thing. And so just remember that the roles are going to change.
Yep, I agree.
So with that, I mean, I think we've done a great job. We have the last one moving out in June at the end of this month. We've had a couple come through and leave, and this will be the last one. So we'll be back to semi-empty nesters. I think the 10-year-old really don't count anymore. That was a kid that, you just like, don't kill yourself. So, but we're looking forward to that again. And we already had plans for the rooms.
Yes.
I think she's getting a weight room. I'm going to get a movie room. So we're excited.
Couple more weeks.
So make sure you like and subscribe. It's great session. Hey, leave in the comments what you think about life after parent, your experience, share your experiences for everybody else. But please hit that like and subscribe button. Share the post. We're really trying to get up to 10,000 followers so that we can start really, being a ministry for y'all. And yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Oh, and don't forget to go to our website, My Spouse, My Best Friend, and get your Father's Day t-shirt. My cook, my teacher, my driver, my helper, my fixer.
We have a lot of them.
Yes, so don't forget to visit the website.
And remember that all proceeds, we have a scholarship for first-time college goers. And so those proceeds go to those scholarships. We do one each semester. So it's really helping out. It's not for us to make money. It's just for us to help us fund these scholarships. So we really appreciate you. Go to our website, take a look around, peruse around. We have some really great stuff, and we really appreciate your support. So with that, I'll say thank you. Don't kill the kids. Love y'all.
Bye.
Soundstripe.